Good morning, children. Welcome back. We are continuing the chapter Cell, the basic unit of life. In the previous session, we have seen the structure of plasma membrane, the ultrastructure of plasma membrane, electron microscopic structure of plasma membrane. Introduce. What is the name of that structure? Fluid mosaic model. Fluid mosaic model of plasma membrane, which was discovered by Singer and Nicholson. Singer, S-I-N-G-E-R. Singer and Nicholson in 1972. Okay, Singer and Nicholson. This is called what is called the fluid mosaic model, and this is the structure, general structure of this fluid mosaic model of plasma membrane. Now, in this session, we are going to study the three types of organelles. Membrane bound organelles. Membrane bound organelles are the features of eukaryotic cells, and they are absent in the prokaryotic cells. Now, let us start with the first organelle, that is called endoplasmic reticulum. You might have studied some points about it in the previous years. So, endoplasmic reticulum is the membrane bound network of interconnected tubes and sheets. So we can say, suppose this is the cell. This is the cell, and around the nucleus you can see the network of interconnected tubes and sheets. Network of membrane bound interconnected tubes and sheets, starting from the nuclear membrane, because they are originated from the nuclear membrane. So they will start from the nuclear membrane, and one end touches the nuclear membrane and the other end to the plasma membrane. So this is the interconnected network of tubes, that is called endoplasmic reticulum. Clear? The definition is clear. Interconnected network of tubes. Now, this endoplasmic reticulum has two luminar sides. Luminal, L-U-M-I-N-A-L. What is the meaning of luminal? Luminal is the side. Means inner side and external or intraluminal. Luminal and intraluminal. Luminal means inside the plasma membrane or inside the endoplasmic reticulum, and extraluminal means outside, that is near the or focusing or touching the cytoplasm. So luminal, L-U-M-I-N-A-L, luminal, and extraluminal. These are the two sides of the endoplasmic reticulum, extraluminal. Now, based on the presence or absence of ribosomes, there are two categories, two types of endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum with ribosomes on the surface, they look rough, they appear rough. So the presence of ribosomes around the endoplasmic reticulum make them rough endoplasmic reticulum. Rough ER, rough endoplasmic reticulum. Clear? Clear. And those without the ribosomes on the surface, called smooth endoplasmic reticulum or SER. Of course, you can understand functional status of this endoplasmic reticulum. They help in the intra and extracellular transportation of materials. First function of endoplasmic reticulum, that endoplasmic reticulum helps in the transportation intracellularly and extracellular, or intracellular and intercellular. It means that the protein synthesized in the nucleus will be transported or carried through this. It can also carry the materials outside the cell. So intracellular and extracellular transportation is the first function. Second function, the presence of ribosome, that is rough endoplasmic reticulum, helps in protein synthesis. Protein synthesis. Second function. Third function, the endoplasmic reticulum also helps in the synthesis of glycolipids, glycoprotein and many steroid hormones. Glycoproteins, glycolipids and many steroid hormones. So there are, we can say, 2 or 3 functions for this endoplasmic reticulum. They are intra and extracellular transportation. Second, the presence of ribosomes helps in the protein synthesis, and also they help in the synthesis of glycoproteins, glycolipids, etc. So that's all about the endoplasmic reticulum. So once again, can you revise it? Can you remember the points? Yes. The definition of endoplasmic reticulum, if you say, they are interconnected network of tubes. Interconnected network of tubes. They extend from the nuclear membrane till the plasma membrane. Clear? Clear. Now, there are 2 sides of this. Luminal side, that is the internal side of the endoplasmic reticulum, and extraluminal indicate the external side, that is the side to the cytoplasm. Right? There are 2 categories of endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum contain the ribosomes around it. That makes it a rough endoplasmic reticulum. And the endoplasmic reticulum without ribosomes are smooth. Then what are the functions of this? Intra and extracellular transportation. Then second, the presence of ribosome produces proteins. Now the smooth endoplasmic reticulum helps in the synthesis of phospholipids, glycolipids and many steroid chemicals. That's all about the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay? Right. Now we are coming to the second organelle, that is Golgi bodies or Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus are first discovered by Camillo Golgi. Camillo Golgi in the year 1862 around. Camillo Golgi. So who discovered this Golgi bodies? Camillo Golgi. Actually they are membrane bound sheets or sacs, parallelly arranged membrane bound tubes or vesicles, we can say. Membrane bound tubes or vesicles. They are always focused to or connected to the nuclear membrane, because they are originated from the nuclear membrane as well as from the from the endoplasmic reticulum. So the Golgi bodies have 2 phases. The forming phase, that the phase near the nucleus, which are smaller, we call it cis. Cis means forming phase, and the external bigger in size, they are called the trans phase. TRANS, trans phase. So cis phase and trans phase are the 2 phases. Cis phase are forming phase from the nuclear membrane, and trans phase is the maturing phase, that is seen away from this nucleus. Right? They are parallelly arranged. Anyhow, they are flattened vesicles. We call it cisternae. CISTERNAE. What are these meaning of cisternae? Cisternae are flattened sac-like structure, and they are arranged almost in concentric manner, concentric to the nucleus. Not steadily, they are slightly bent, concentrically bent. So cis phase, trans phase. Now that's all about the structure of this Golgi bodies. Now functionally, Golgi bodies are very important. Golgi bodies helps in the production of lipids such as phospholipids, lipids, steroids, and they also help in the detoxification of drugs or chemicals. Detoxification. What is meaning of detoxification? The toxin present in our food, when we take some drugs, they are slightly harmful to our body. Such drugs are detoxified, neutralized mainly in this Golgi apparatus or Golgi body. Since it is very importantly, we can say detoxification of drugs. So synthesis of lipids or phospholipids, then steroids and phosphoglycoproteins. All these are the mixture, complex protein and lipids molecules. So once again, what are Golgi bodies? Golgi bodies are flattenedly arranged sac-like structure which consist of vesicles called cisternae. Right? There are two phases. Forming phase is called cis and the maturing phase called trans. Always they are formed, or cis phase is forming phase, always attached to the nuclear membrane because they are formed from the nuclear membrane. And they are flattened sac-like structure. We call them cisternae, C-I-S-T-E-R-N-A. Functionally, they help in the formation of phospholipids, phosphoglycoproteins, steroids, and they also functions in detoxification. Some toxins, alcohol or types of drugs that will be detoxified by the Golgi bodies. Now we are coming to the last part of this three. What are the functions of or what are lysosomes? Lysosomes are first discovered by D. Dubé. D-E-D-U-B-E. D. Dubé. And these lysosomes are vesicles filled with powerful hydrolytic enzymes. These hydrolytic enzymes can digest or dissolve proteins, carbohydrates, even nucleic acid as well. So hydrolytic enzymes like lipase, carbohydrates, proteases, cellulase, all these hydrolytic enzymes filled in this. When a cell in an organism, when a cell is damaged or destroyed, or any foreign substances enter the cell, what happens? These lysosomes break off and release the powerful enzymes to digest the harmful or dead cells. In this way, the lysosome helps in the digestion of foreign materials which happens to enter. Not only that, they destroy the dead or attenuated cells, dead or weakened or attenuated cells. See, this way, the lysosomes act as powerful cleaning system inside the cell. Powerful cleaning system. When a microbe enters, primarily these lysosomes, the hydrolytic enzymes, try to destroy them. Then only antibodies and phagocytosis happens to destroy the pathogen. So, lysosomes are vesicles containing powerful hydrolytic enzymes, and they are discovered D. Dubé. When the cell is dead or weakened or destroyed, the powerful hydrolytic enzymes destroy the cells, weak cells or foreign substances. Thereby, the lysosomes are also being destroyed. Hence, lysosomes are called suicidal bags. So, functionally, they act as the cleaning system of the cell. That's all today. Thank you.